Hi guys, I feel like we haven't talked about the basics for some time, and as I'm getting ready for the maternity ward, I always think about how quickly life passes us by and knowing that we still want instant results. Now, my eldest turned 3 like a couple of weeks ago, and we started investing for her when she was 0. So her investment returns have been just under 30% in these past 3 years. Granted, it is an odd time in the world, but in 3 years, I've seen the power of how compounding over time makes a massive difference, guys. It's like my PT says, you don't lose fat and build a body in a day. It takes years of consistent effort and dedication to build that beach body, and we are all out there trying to find that instant fix, all the while gorging on ice cream and, you know, all that jazz. Guys, all of a sudden, I've had these cravings for ice cream truck ice creams, and who's tried the new version of the cornetto ice cream, the soft scoop? Guys, this is a game changer. Go to the supermarket and don't look for the normal cornetto, look for the cornetto soft scoop. I'm telling you, your mind will be blown, and I'm not gonna lie right there. But I diverge. The thing with money or wealth accumulation is it's a long-term thing, so it needs that mindset that requires habit change, planning, and even action taking. There will be a few beeps along the way.
Use the word artichoke instead.
If I can stop swearing, everybody can stop swearing.
I mean, everyone has those. Everyone starts from a much lower base than we want to be at. I received this comment, and we talk about retirement in our household all the time. By the way, thank you for watching all my videos and loving them. Thank you. Now, on the back of this comment, we have an age in mind, which is in the region of 5 to 10 years. I mean, we could retire within 5 years if we really wanted to. I feel like 10 years is very achievable comfortably for us. 20 years, it should be a breeze and a walk in the park. But when we have unrealistic expectations like 1 year or 1 day, then that, my friends, is impossible. Let's talk about some of those practical strategies. These strategies have been the key for us to becoming financially free and really should be the cornerstone of your personal finance training. First of all, focus on expenses. And this is so common that it's becoming annoying. Expenses is the one area of our personal finances where we have the most control, but we like to give it all away. Every expense we make is our choice. Even if we put our core or fixed expenses aside, there are a ton of expenses which we make which are our choice. And living in a consumer driven society, our demands are driven so that our money is moved from our pockets to those that value that more. It's just the cold hard facts, right? Then we level up our expenses with every pay rise and keep up with the Joneses, but we don't need to. We don't need the biggest house or the fanciest car. We choose the expenses that add up to our cost of living. Some people choose mega mansions and others choose moderately sized homes with mortgages that leave sort of a buffer for investing and accumulating wealth. Let's trim down the expenses by analysing them and do what you can to make your lifestyle more affordable. So when you aim for an affordable lifestyle, it also allows us to focus on spending money on what matters most to us. So get creative and serious about income expansion, guys. The next one we call hustling. And simply said, the more time we have, the more creative we could get with building those income streams. In our 20s, we don't have the time commitments that come with having a family. And so that's the time to double down on generating income because we are time rich and have low overheads. It really is the best time to lay the foundations for businesses, income generation, earning, saving, learning as much as you can, guys. And it's not to say that it can't be done later, but you will be kicking yourself for not doing it. I'm in my 30s now. I have a day job, I parent, I run businesses, I hustle, and I still make time for my hobbies like this YouTube gig. I really have no time to spare. And then the day off or the week off is actually very much needed. So get creative and see what you can do on the side. It'll also help you build your experiences, knowledge, and connect those pathways in your brain that make us human. So in my 20s, I sold handbags around a supper club, I started a restaurant, I bought and rented out property, I house hacked for a bit. Sites like Upwork, Fiverr, and freelancers were all in their infancy, but now you can build a whole full-time job or part-time income on it. I feel like the best thing about the world today and the silver lining from the pandemic is flexible working is now a thing. So spend up carving up your day and week so you have time allocated for working on those hustles and those hobbies that could turn into income and diversify your income streams. So invest the right way, guys. Now I have to say, every path to wealth is achieved through investing, full stop. I don't believe in any other way. You work hard, invest your time in the beginning, and when money is exchanged, you try and keep that money and put it to work for you. Now, your money is your workforce. Don't give it away easily. Instead, put your money to work by investing it. Once you see that power of investing, understand the nuances of how it works. And believe me, you'll be reluctant to spend a dime or have someone else holding your cash, like say in the bank. The act of starting is more important than how much much you invest, because once you see that money working, and it will drive you to the next level. For example, if you see a portfolio grow by £1, then you start thinking about proportions. If you added 10 times the investment, you would have made £10. Likewise, when you see the investment returns as percentage increases over the years, you won't always kick yourself that investing was not prioritized. You have to find that desire, and it will make those previous points I've been banging on about in this video and all my personal finance videos, let's just be honest, right there, easier to act on. Now, if you're still building yourself up to invest, which I was in my 20s, and still working on building income streams and controlling those expenses, then fine, that's all well and good. I've been there. And we learn, we absorb about investing instead. I used to ogle at the return profiles of funds and stocks and not really understand them at the time, and read so many books on investing, but that does build your confidence quite quickly when you do start investing. It can get blurry-eyed with promise of high returns, but if we educate ourselves on consistent long-term returns, for example, I invested in an imaginary ETF stock portfolio, and I did that for years, and only in my late 20s and early 30s did I get super serious about my asset allocation. Right, the next point I want to talk about is envy. And I know it's odd to kind of have this topic in itself, but now that I'm older and I'm wiser, I can see how prominent and toxic it can be, and I see it in people around me. Envy takes up a lot of emotional and mental and physical space, and can trigger the wrong values and mindset for us to drive forward, and it can block our ambitions and even block our successes. Trust me, it's an elating feeling to know that you have the financial security and you don't really have to demonstrate it. It does take a while to get our heads around. Money is not the root of evil, guys, but can be a multiplier of negativity with a pessimistic mindset. And I have a video just on these points, so I'll link one here, which is whether money will make you happy, and also linked in the description about keeping up with the Joneses and why it's a bad thing for your finances, because I'm good like that, guys. Right, so the next thing I want to talk about is FOMO. Even now I struggle with it when it comes to speculative returns from meme stocks and crypto. And as a personal finance YouTuber, often I see crazy portfolios being built on Bitcoin, GameStop and AMC stock. My objective is to keep working hard, build consistent wealth, stay patient and squirrel away. Like this little monkey here. I do want to build on one more point. Greed and envy can destroy our portfolios, guys. A 6-figure portfolio can be reduced to pennies because an investor goes for a home run rather than consistent single and double-digit returns. Now, some of the common threads I do see on YouTube are option plays on single stocks and digital currency. These type of investing strategies have existed since the dawn of time, and they come in the form of playing online poker, picking stocks to a system, flogging houses to a system, horse racing. It's endless. And yes, there is always the top of the pyramid for the majority of us, and it might seem a little bit rubbish to generate about 4% dividends or get 5 to 10% return on your equities averaged over 10 years, but that money does consistently grow, and it accelerates as that money is reinvested. Companies grow and dividends grow, and your cost of entry stays constant, and so on and so forth. All this helps and accelerates as the years go on. Charlie Munger has stated that the first 100k is always the hardest, but it does get much easier from there on. That's because that's a notable sum of money that's working for you, and at higher levels of capital, smaller percentage points have a huge absolute impact on the money you accumulate. And that's why as people get richer, it moves from wealth accumulation to wealth preservation, building balanced portfolios that provide a lower inflation beating consistent return. But let's take a breather and stop being in such a rush all the time. If we had the time, I mean, what would we actually do with it? Instead, I want to focus on enjoying the work I do, enjoying the presence of my 2 crazy toddlers and my partner, enjoy the home that we have, enjoy experiencing life, all the while continuing to squirrel away my money so that it can keep working to provide for me as I continue to evolve my lifestyle. And it's absolutely possible to build wealth from scratch. Now, I know this video was a little bit of a monologue, so I want to give you some videos here which are from my cringe binge days, which cover some of those core topics that make up the strategies. The first is the power of compounding and how steady investing will make you rich. Also, how to invest in your 20s and 30s to make your 40s less stressful. That's my next decade, people. So I need to recognize that. And finally, a reflection on how I was in my 20s. And I quite enjoyed making that video. So click here and I'll see you over there, guys.